Popular YouTube duo Matt and Ryan from the channel SuperMega have been making videos since early 2012. After the passing of their friend and co-collaborator Daniel, they started SuperMega in 2016 and have cultivated a passionate and tight-knit fan base that supports them in all their endeavors. From Nascar to music, there's nothing their fans wouldn't do for them. However, in 2021, an image surfaced on the SuperMega subreddit from user Remarkable Kale 5361 that has caused some fans to question, how much do we really know about our favorite Let's Players Matt and Ryan? So here it is, an analysis of the SuperMega Iceberg.
Forrest Gump. Matt and Ryan will often reference moments from the film Forrest Gump while also doing an impression of the main character from said film. Matt and Ryan from SuperMega? This is in reference to a running bit on SuperMega where the boys, in a playful jab at the fans, will refer to interactions beginning with the quote, "Yes, yes, yes." Another running bit on the channel, however, one that has mostly died down. The boys would often emphasize their excitement by saying, "Yes, yes, yes," and often following it up with a "daddy likes." A more recent gag that is often evident in their Japan vlogs, the boys will often refer to each other or random people as sir. They usually do this doing a faux authoritative voice, usually to comedic effect.
Sir. Sir. Sir?
As mentioned in my introduction, this is the name of the previous channel that both Ryan and Matt worked on with their friend Daniel. However, I will say that Ryan and Daniel were the ones that created it, while Matt joined on later. Your mom jokes are in reference to how Matt and Ryan will constantly make jokes about each other's moms. This will come into play later. Loves Japan. For a long time, Matt has discussed how he loves many different aspects of Japan and Japanese culture. This is especially evident when they went to Japan and filmed vlogs. This will be important to remember for later. Ryan loves Iron Giant. Ryan has been shown to be a big fan of the Iron Giant film. This is obvious through the Iron Giant alarm, as well as his Iron Giant tattoo. This affinity will be important later. Odds are. There's almost an hour's worth of content that shows Matt and Ryan playing the game Odds Are. The results are usually gross or embarrassing of some sort. Holes. Similar to their affinity for Forrest Gump, the boys have a keen interest in the movie Holes and its soundtrack. The SuperMega car is a sponsored Nascar that Matt and Ryan bought that sadly crashed after the driver was steadily climbing into 14th place. R.I.P. SuperMega car. Kangaroo Jack.
Hey, where's your phone?
Around near the Denny's.
You guys have a Denny's?
The wedding video. A running gag on the channel is that Matt promised his sister to film and edit her wedding video. It has now been a few years, and has become more of a joke and less of an expectation of him to actually finish it. Tucker Brothers. The Tucker Brothers, Jackson and Harrison, are employees and good friends of Matt and Ryan. They have been seen in many videos from gaming to their live-action videos, and especially their Japan vlogs. Ryan Ciggies. Ryan has been shown to smoke cigarettes from time to time, although he has shown willingness to quit. Gym shorts and flip-flops. This is in reference to what is known as the Ryan McKee Classic. Ryan has consistently been known to wear a very specific outfit, which is black gym shorts and flip-flops or slides. Survival multiplayer Minecraft server started by Matt as a collaborative server of many different creators. Sadly, a number of the participants stopped playing after a while and the server eventually ended. Nathan is a character played by Matt, who is a young boy with a promising music career. He has a number of hit songs, including My Two Lovely Uncles, and has multiple Christmas song cover albums. Ming was a homeless woman that lived in an alleyway that Matt and Ryan previously lived near. There were a number of interesting interactions that the boys had with her until they eventually moved, and nobody really knows what is currently going on with her or if she still lives in that area. Brent's Smelly Penis is a running bit on the channel where they continue to say that the Game Grumps manager Brent has an extremely smelly penis. This is also the subject of a SuperMega fan game that the boys played on the channel. Triangle Dudes. The Triangle Dudes are a little character that Matt likes to draw and sell merchandise of. It originated as just a doodle until, of course, he eventually started selling hats and shirts with them on them. Vape Addiction. When Ryan was working on quitting cigarettes, Matt went with him to buy a Juul. In the process, he got a bit of a nicotine addiction that he has since quit. Ouch. Ouch is Matt's debut EP. It is very good. Delta Farce. Delta Farce is similar to Forrest Gump and Holes, and it is a movie that they're referencing either wanting to watch or just referencing straight up. Matt is a terrible brother. Matt has been shown to be the sort of little shit younger brother, but he is still shown to care about his sister. Rice or Puke. Rice or Puke appeared in Three Guys Just Have a Great Time. Matt and Ryan have a debate on whether or not someone poured rice on a tree or if someone puked on a tree. Big Bang Bazinga Bing Bong Burger. Matt cooks Ryan a full burger after him going most of his life eating plain burgers, and eventually makes him a specialty burger, which is the namesake of this tier item. Its full name is Shillman's Big Bang Bazinga Bing Bong Burger. It is topped with wet cat food, chocolate syrup, and garlic powder or Parmesan cheese. During a recording of the SuperMega Cast, we hear the following events.
Just like, I don't know what it is about the water.
Matt, that's not the real Ryan.
What the fuck? Who the fuck is it?
Matt, I know. Let me.
You just shot my. Why are there two Ryans?
I overslept.
And then Tucker said you went with me to go record the podcast or something.
We drove here together. Why are there two Ryans?
That wasn't the right Ryan.
What are you talking about?
Okay, answer me this. Did you drink tea before going to bed last night?
Yes, I did.
Fuck, we need to go now.
What? What?
Because you drank that tea, a series of events
Wait, it's not the real Matt!
What
No,
the
no,
fuck?
I'm the real Matt.
Oh, what the?
Don't listen to him.
What?
Don't listen to
That's
him.
the Matt that drank the tea, though.
Fuck out of here.
Matt's fears. This refers to Matt's fears of cockroaches and vomit. Matt loves water. In early SuperMega, Matt had an affinity for drinking water. Beast. Beast is a compilation editor that has made a number of compilations of SuperMega videos. Donkey Kong and Katamari. Donkey Kong and Katamari is most likely in reference to Matt and Ryan's favorite games. Ryan's is Donkey Kong's and Matt is Katamari. College dropouts. It is pretty well known that Matt and Ryan are both college dropouts. Matt and 7-Eleven. Matt has a strange affinity for 7-Eleven and the 7-Eleven brand, to the point where he has a 7-Eleven logo tattoo on his arm. Fish Stick. Fish Stick is a skin from the game Fortnite that Matt, Ryan, Jackson, and Harrison all thirst after to play the game as. Format 24 is Matt's original YouTube channel from when he was around 12 years old. As a secondary item of discussion, we will also talk about tier item Hey Shane Dawson. This is a reference to a video that Matt made around the time that YouTube still had a video response system. He made a response video to a video that Shane Dawson posted about his grandma. Chica tweet. During their appearance on the Cold Ones podcast, the host pulls up an old tweet from Matt in his Markiplier days. He responds to a picture of Chica about how Chica is a freak. Chica in this context is Markiplier's dog. Jackson's fashion era is in reference to the different eras of dress that Jackson Tucker likes to wear. The most clear examples of this are his cowboy and Hawaiian shirt eras. Similar to early tier item Ming, Push-Ups was another homeless person who lived near their original apartment. One time Ryan saw him jerking off, so that's fun. Ryan McGee. This is most likely in reference to how people usually mistake Ryan's last name for Mickey instead of its correct spelling, Muggy. Shitcan. This refers to the number of episodes in Super Mega history where, while one of the members of Super Mega goes to the bathroom, they film it, and usually it's them taking a shit. Ryan's voicemail. This is a reference to a moment in the Super Mega cast where Matt was fed up with Ryan's "your mom" jokes, so he made Ryan leave a voicemail apology to his mom. However, Ryan just makes a kiss sound with his mouth, and Matt accidentally ends the call, to his dismay. Justin is underage. This is the running bit that the editor for Super Mega, Justin, is actually underaged. Ryan's colon. This refers to the era in which Ryan had a number of health issues surrounding his colon. It is discussed in numerous episodes of the Super Mega cast, and most obviously in episode 171 titled Ryan's colon. The Americana. This refers to the fact that a large amount of their stories about early Super Mega days start with "back by the Americana." This is the name of their old building. Wanda. Wanda is a bird that has taken up residence in the backyard of the Super Megaplex for the past 3 years. She has a nest and uses it to lay and hatch her eggs. Matt's kittens. After the sad disappearance of Matt's cat Banana, Matt decided to foster a litter of kittens. He never ended up adopting any of them, but they all grew up and got adopted. Dan's grandma. This refers to the fact that at one point during their Game Grumps editing days, they made a thumbnail with an edit of Dan's face that upset his grandmother. The big project they've been working on. Matt and Ryan have recently been referencing a big project that they have been working on. It is not entirely clear what it is, but it could be in reference to the album, a trilogy of books, or something that is completely unknown to anybody but them yet. Chester Cheddar Burger's true identity. This refers to the fact that a number of people believe that Chester Cheddar Burger is not actually Jackson Tucker, but is in fact his brother Harrison Tucker. Shaven heads. During the most recent tour, Matt and Ryan lost a game of What Are the Odds and had to shave their head live in front of the entire audience. Tims. During a number of their mailroom videos, Matt and Ryan asked their audience to send them a pair of Tims. This resulted in them getting an excess of Tims in their P.O. box, resulting them in having a wall of Tims. Beta male smile. The beta male smile is a smile that Matt does at Ryan to make him laugh. This shows that Matt is in fact a beta. Finn Wolfhard was poached from Game Grumps. After appearing on Game Grumps, actor Finn Wolfhard appears on Super Mega, thus resulting in people believing that Super Mega poached Finn Wolfhard from Game Grumps. Leaf Blower Guy. The Leaf Blower Guy is a recurring bit on the Super Mega cast that every time they sit down to record the podcast, someone is outside using a leaf blower every time. Ryan and the President. Correction, Matt and the President. This is in reference to the time that Matt Watson met George W. Bush. Ryan shit all over a toilet. This is a reference to a moment in the Super Mega cast where they tell a story about how Ryan accidentally missed the bowl and shit on the back of a toilet. Nothing But Jason.
Nothing But Jason, aka Jason But Lag, is a reference to their editor Justin. During an Animal Crossing episode, they jokingly start calling Justin Jason, acting like they forgot his name.
Tom Pearl. Mario Maker Feather. This is a reference to their Super Mario Maker 1 Let's Play, where Matt, getting extra coins, ignores a prompt to get a cape flower. Animal Crossing as a podcast. This is most likely a reference to the fact that, while they play Animal Crossing, they rarely, if ever, make any chatter about the game at hand. Now this one is absolutely stupid. Shipiphany. Shipiphany is a theoretical character that Chris Oni plays and Matt argue over. It is a hypothetical clone of Matt's hypothetical girlfriend. The Oni Plays Wikia explains it much better than I can, so here's an excerpt from it. Shipiphany is Matt Watson's hypothetical girlfriend. She was hypothetically cloned by Chris O'Neill so that Chris could hypothetically fuck the hypothetical clone. But after her hypothetical death, Matt becomes hypothetically irrational and upset that Chris was still hypothetically fucking the hypothetical clone. Don's ass hair. During the Super Megacast episode in which Don, their channel artist, appears, it is revealed that to remove his ass hairs, he rips them out by hand. I wish I was making that up. The city of Kent grew to notoriety in the SuperMega lore because Justin, their editor, got them to a large number of followers on Twitter. This resulted in the city announcing that August 29th would officially be Justin Nothing But Lag Day. Dale Watson Internet History. Dale deleted the internet history like a fucking dick. Tucker making faces. This refers to a story where Matt and Ryan took acid once, and Tucker, their filmographer, kept making faces at them while they were tripping, and to this day he claims not to have been doing that. Matt's first time smoking weed. This refers to a story of how Matt smoked weed for the first time and didn't get high at all, then proceeded to call his mother and told her that he smoked weed. She responded that it wasn't a big deal. If you're interested, this was discussed in Super Minicast Weed Stories. This is an onomatopoeia for the fart sound that the boys like to make with their mouth. They most popularly used it when poking fun at their previous employer, Game Grumps, more specifically, Danny of Game Grumps. Donkey Kong with a Big Bong is a reference to a few different moments. There's one playthrough of Mario Golf where Matt challenged Kill Bill the Rapper to make a song, including the line, as well as a Super Mega Cast episode where he also used that line. The Talking Show.
The talking show is not real and never has been.
Matt is on Chris Chan's list. Dan's wigs. This is a reference to a running bit that Dan from Game Grumps is bald and actually wears wigs. Aaron's bongs. This is one that I've added to the iceberg, and is similar to the previous one. This is a bit that the boys said that the entirety of the Game Grumps office was covered in Aaron's bongs, as well as every computer in the office also being a bong. High school dances. This is most likely a reference to how Ryan would theoretically take a girl to her high school dance while he's still the same age. Anne's text to Ryan. This is relating to an incident where Matt's mom texted Ryan an innocent text that also seemingly was sorta sexual. Ryan masturbated in Matt's mom's bed. This is a reference to when Ryan was staying with Matt and his family at their house. Ryan slept in Matt's mom's bed, and it is assumed that he masturbated in it. Justin on Ellen. This item is in reference to a time that Justin was on Ellen during one of her on the mic segments. I don't know what the fuck they're called. It's fucking stupid. I hate Ellen.
Ryan asking questions he knows the answers to. This refers to a joke that Ryan does, where he will ask a question or pretend to not understand something that he clearly understands. They can't talk about the Ray J sex tape. This item refers to how it is assumed that because of their contract with Raycons, the boys can't talk about the sex tape. Super Mega loves Justin Bieber. Ryan gave Justin Bieber's movie a favorable review in his school newspaper. The first song Matt listened to when he acquired a radio as a teenager was Justin Bieber's Baby, and he enjoyed it. This has caused people to believe that they are actually big fans of Justin Bieber. Dawn's Big Story. This refers to a story told on the Super Minicast about Dawn that they had to censor out entirely. Ryan's streaming schedule. This refers to how Ryan doesn't have a stream schedule in hopes that people don't get their hopes up. Hennessy incident. Jackson gave 2 Matt Hennessy on the podcast. Danny vs. Kenny G. Danny vs. Kenny G was a recurring event on the Super Mega Patreon, where it was, in essence, a verbal spitting match between Dan from Game Grumps and Kenny G that neither of them knew about. The Belly Button Doctor. This is a reference to a story that Matt told about his doctor fingering his belly button during a checkup. Ryan likes Y pussy. Ryan likes Y pussy is a joke that he said on the Misfits podcast. Matt's shower shit. Matt's shower shit. Matt has gone on record during the Super Mega Cast as taking a shit in the shower. Ryan's dirt on Mark. This is a smaller reoccurring bit where Ryan keeps mentioning he has some form of dirt on Markiplier that he is saving for someday where he will need it. The true identity of the big YouTuber Matt did drugs with. There is another story where Matt claims he did shrooms with another big-name YouTuber. It is mostly a joke because we don't know who it is for sure, but it is theorized that it rhymes with a Schmerin Schmanson. Petroleum jelly story. This refers to a bit where they claimed they would tell a petroleum jelly story on the 100th episode of the podcast and failed to deliver on the epicness foretold. Fuck my monkey pussy.
Fuck! I got this! Fuck me, fuck my monkey pussy. I got a big old monkey pussy. I want you to fuck me.
That's Mimi's voice.
Fuck my monkey pussy! Fuck it! Fuck my monkey pussy! Fuck! God damn it!
Ryan's Cujo story, or Lego origin story. This was a story about how Ryan was originally supposed to adopt a dog named Cujo. However, as soon as he arrived at the adoption center, he was already taken, so that's why he ended up adopting Lego. Why Tucker disappeared. Game Grumps poached him. Tucker originally worked with SuperMega on some older live-action videos until he eventually stopped and started working with Game Grumps. He eventually started working with the boys again, though. My personal theory is that, as revenge for SuperMega poaching Finn Wolfhard, they returned by poaching Tucker. Ryan hates lipstick. Ryan is known to have a weird aversion to lipstick, whether it be on him or other people. Ryan's life-changing trip to Alaska. Ryan, on a trip to Alaska, experienced a life-changing event where he felt left out by the voice of God. This would go on to shape his future religious views. See the Super Mini cast on Christianity. On what I believe is the same trip to Alaska, at an improv event, he made a joke about a dead mom to a girl whose mom died the same week, which struck him for a very long time. Matt's cuck jokes are because of his fetish. Matt has made a number of cuckolding jokes in the past. It is theorized that he does this to disperse attention to the likelihood that he is actually a cuckold himself. This is something we will get into much later. Matt's obsession with extra-dimensional beings. Matt has talked on numerous occasions about being interested in extra-dimensional beings and aliens. Catherine. Catherine was the downstairs neighbor of Matt and Ryan when they were starting out in their early SuperMega days. She had complained to them multiple times during their time there that they were too loud. Will from Foyle. Will from Foyle was a person who showed up multiple times on Matt's old channel, Format 24. It has been joked before that he may join SuperMega, however this can also be taken as a serious hint to a new member of the SuperMega crew. Removed joke from The Guys Climb a Mountain. This is widely known to those who watched SuperMega early on. During their The Guys Climb a Mountain video, there was a joke where Ryan fell down a slope, and it says, escape from McDonald's. Then right after that, there is a similar moment where Matt, it says, escape from Auschwitz. This was removed in later years. The guys go to a human trafficking bar, Lost Vlog. There's a story that Matt and Ryan told on the Misfits podcast about how they were pretty much extorted and almost human trafficked in Japan. Ryan and Matt have fucked up bowels for the same reason. Both of them have messed up digestive systems. This is the idea that they both have a similar illness that has never been explored. Dale hates Ryan. Due to a previous tier item, the mom jokes, it is known that Dale, Matt's dad, has threatened to kick Ryan's ass because of the jokes he makes about Matt's mom. Jackson already earned his Prowler. This is referring to the Prowler bet that Jackson and Matt made. This is the theory that he has already earned it. The Tucker brothers run SuperMega. Due to how much more prominently Jackson and Harrison Tucker are featured, one begins to wonder, do they run SuperMega? Are Matt and Ryan just the pretty faces of the brand? Matt and Ryan were fired from Game Grumps. There's a reoccurring bit on the channel that Matt and Ryan were seemingly fired from Game Grumps because of their Brent jokes, Dan jokes, and Aaron jokes. Matt knew it was vomit because he threw it up. In reference to the previous tier item, Rice vs. Puke, this item is a theory that Matt was the one to actually puke it up. This answers the debate question and is a solution to why Matt has emetophobia. The truth behind Ryan's outfit. This is a reference to Ryan's outfit. The theory that came out about this is that he actually plays professional basketball. This would explain the gym shorts, and the slides mean he doesn't want to damage his basketball shoes. The wrong Matt and Ryan. This is a reference to a Super Mega Cast episode where a series of events take place where Matt and Ryan are seemingly duplicated and need to figure out who is the correct Matt and Ryan. The Ryan left behind when recording was the one that burst in, while moments later, the Matt that didn't drink the tea shoots the Matt that did. This leads to the question, who was the right Matt and Ryan? Matt's wife's boyfriend is the wrong Ryan. Matt often claims to have a wife with a boyfriend. This is a reference to how it could be the wrong Ryan from the previous item on the tier. Matt isn't a bottom. This is the theory that Matt isn't a bottom, even though it's been shown that he is. The reason this is posited because of things like him theoretically having sex with Ryan's mom and his own dad. Using context clues, it is theorized he's the top in these events. Shipiphany is real. See Tier 4 Shipiphany. This is the theory that Shipiphany isn't hypothetical and that it actually happened. It is a possible explanation for the Oni fallout and why Oni NG hasn't been on the channel since. God damn it, Justin. It's a goddamn it Ross reference. I don't think that has to be said. Frank Jeff C. bought SuperMega. Due to his numerous appearances in the SuperMega history, it is now theorized that Frank Jeff C. has actually bought SuperMega. SuperMegaplex address. This is a theory about the location of the SuperMegaplex. It has been theorized that because some people found their old apartment location, they would be completely moved out of the country to assure it would never happen again. Key is hidden symbolism in thumbnails. Foolish Captain Key has been known to have hidden symbols in her thumbnails. This can be anything from Freemason symbols to Illuminati symbols. Once Matt and Ryan found out, they replaced her with Dawn. There are no bits. This is arguably one of the biggest ideas to come from the SuperMega Iceberg. This is the idea that every bit and every joke is real. Matt and Ryan were fired from Game Grumps, and Ryan slept with Matt's first wife and mom, are both under this umbrella, the Tucker sisters. Ryan bought the motorcycle so he could leave SuperMega. Due to the fact that Ryan has been getting and riding his motorcycle in recent months, people begin to theorize that he is using it to escape from SuperMega. The wrong Matt replaced the real Matt after a lawsuit. Entry referring to the multitude of jokes including the SuperMega Cast episode 68 ending, the joke that Matt Watson was replaced by Matthew Watson after a lawsuit, and the fact that Matt simply looks different compared to at the beginning of SuperMega. Tucker and the Tucker brothers are actually related. Despite them denying this is the case, it has been theorized that they are actually related. This is due to the fact that they have a strikingly similar namesake, despite it being flipped from first and last. Ryan has the largest Iron Giant Funko Pop collection in the world. Due to his affinity for the Iron Giant, and the fact that he keeps getting sent Iron Giant Funko Pops. Therefore, it is not unreasonable to theorize that he now owns the largest Iron Giant Funko Pop collection in the world. Tucker died in a boat crash caused by Game Grumps, and they replaced him with a clone. As revenge after poaching Tucker from SuperMega, Game Grumps killed Tucker in a boat crash and replaced him with a clone as revenge for all their jokes at Game Grumps' expense. Well, all things considered, that's it. Except for one last thing. Now, I've saved this idea for last because it's intense. It is the biggest theory to come out of this iceberg by far. This is because not even the iceberg creator knows about it. Kale, I can see through your veil. I know exactly what you're all about. I know who you really are. And I know that the original poster of the SuperMega Iceberg is somebody that nobody expected. User Remarkable Kale 5361. The OP is a SuperMega Insider.